Good morning. It's a little after 6:15, about the same time I started yesterday. Welcome to Hiram Hikes, by the way. I'm Hiram. Oh, and please subscribe and like if you like the videos. I'm supposed to say that once in a while, and I've been really bad at it. So yeah, it's about the same time I started yesterday. However, I'm not at the shelter. I had pack on and by 5:45 this morning and started up out of there. A long 2/10 up from the shelter back to the trail, uphill with switchbacks the whole way, a little bit rocky, but not bad. And then up onto the trail and then up to the top of the ridge line. That was pretty rocky and very steep. So I was using the headlamp just kind of as a general, as background lighting. I had it on low. I also have a bike light on my trekking pole, and I'll show you that later. Worked out real well. It's got a high-low setting, and the low setting has been adequate, more than adequate, because you think about it, with a bike you're going fast, you need a lot more reaction time than hiking, especially me. So I don't need to reach out 50 or 100 feet to get real good detail. And it shines out that far, but not obviously as bright. Very happy. I'm up on the ridge line now, and I'm overlooking the Blue Ridge Parkway. Is right down. I can see the yellow line from here. It's 100 yards away down. We're on the ridge line, and it's just below it. The ridge line at times has been very rocky. Parts of yesterday afternoon, it got real rocky. Oh, there were 5 of us at the shelter last night, and plus a dog. Dog was very well behaved, no issues at all. Most of the group that I thought would be at the shelter was not there. They went down, and they all tend to tent, and there are no tent sites at BOBBLETTS Gap Shelter. The shelter is fine. There's a fire pit out front. There's a really long, 10-foot long picnic table. Water is piped spring. You can hear the sound of the water trickling from the shelter, so right close to the shelter. Very easy to get to, good water source. So I recommend the shelter if you're going to stay in the shelter, but if you're planning on tenting near it, it's not probably a good idea. Probably are a couple places you could do hammocking if you're a hammocker. Within less than 100 yards of heading north on the trail, there was a cluster of tents set up just off the trail, which I suspect is the group that was planning on being at the shelter last night, tenting near the shelter. They just, they had to come back up and head up the trail a bit. Yesterday, happy 12 something. I haven't done that math yet either. When I got to the shelter, I didn't do any filming because there was already a group there, and I don't tend to do that. And of course, this morning I wasn't going to be talking around the shelter because everyone was still in bed when I left. So, I mean, I could have gotten going a little earlier if I hadn't been as careful to be quiet and considerate. And, I had my red light on low the whole time. This is one of the Blue Ridge Parkway overlooks, one of the fantastic views you can see. It's how it is today. I saw this though, I thought I should video. Very disappointed. I expected there'd be a trash can here. Some of them have trash cans, some of them don't. There's the other side of the overlook. And AT heads in this direction. Sorry, I'm headed north. So at another Blue Ridge Parkway pull-off. And as you can see, we've climbed above the clouds, or they've settled below us or something. And the good news is this pull-off actually has a trash can. This is Mills Gap. Kind of a cool view out over to the other side. There was a sign describing what those 2 mountains are at the last pull-off, but you could see nothing, so that wasn't a lot of value. Turning into looking like a beautiful day. Still cool and nice. I think it's going to get hot, but I don't know how hot. Part of the trail was rocky. Part of it was pretty steep. I'm 2 hours in, 2.4 miles. That included about 600 feet up, and some of that was pretty steep. Most of it not, but some of it was. So I'm okay with that. I'd like to go a little bit more, but oh well. I just got passed by one of the guys that was staying in the in that tent site that I passed shortly after I left the shelter this morning, which was really good because until that point I had been web blazing, and now he's web blazing. A term I will explain. So it is shocking how busy the spiders get along the trail at night. And I mean, the trail is just you know, a huge number of cobwebs, you know, back and forth. Everything from, you know, into your shins and legs and then your face and glasses, and you kind of walk along waving your trekking pole in front of you some when you can, and it's annoying. No harm, but it's annoying. So now he's going first, so he gets to clear out the overnight spider webs instead of me. So he's web blazing. Just crossed a little stream, finished a down, little bridge there. Just thought I'd stop, take a video. It's up the Blue Ridge Parkway. Like I say, just finished it down and getting ready for an up. There's a couple of steep ups today. There's the Blue Ridge going. I don't know what direction it's going in. I guess that must be north. And this way is south. Anyway, there's the AT sign right over on that side. And the trail starts right up that way. When I say steep, there's at least 2 today where I think you're doing over 1,000 feet of up per mile. And while at any point in time you could end up with some short, steep sections, when you're doing, you know, 1,000 feet in a mile, you know there's going to be quite a bit of steep sections, if not most of it. I've seen a few rabbits, but not many. First one I've seen posing properly on the trail. Got himself a nice rhododendron garden he's living in here. The bunny's going to move pretty quick, but we'll head that way. Yeah. Hello. How are you? Well, I am coming. You do have to move. This guy's pretty bold. I don't know, I'm 15 feet away right now. Yeah, you gotta move. Sorry, you gotta move. There's another hiker coming up behind me. He's gonna make you move too. You gotta move. Got a bunny on the trail. Come on, let's go. Hiker and a dog, hiker and a dog. Well, there you go. A little bit of a view. Figured I'd share. Always north, headed north. So I've been at Cove Mountain Shelter for an hour and I almost forgot to do a video. So as I walk away, Cove Mountain Shelter, there's a privy up over there. There's a nice picnic table. There's a whole bunch of campsites. There's some campsites up here on the trail. I'm standing about halfway between the trail and the shelter right now. You can see the trail is right up here. Nice shelter, fairly clean. Everything looks good, good fire pit and everything, except this is a dry shelter. So that's the cautionary note. There is no water here. So you got to make sure you're coming in with water. Basically everyone that was like at the pizza group yesterday or at the shelter last night has passed through. They were either here when I got here or came in after I got here. Everybody kind of stopped and had some kind of lunch and then headed north, which is that way, which is where I'm going. Some of them are going up to Jennings Creek, said they wanted to go swimming. There was a couple that are out section hiking that I also saw today that they're going, there's a campground up here a ways. They wanted to go in there and get a shower and some food. So there's several things ahead. I may see some of the people again and I may not. And Rod, who was at the shelter with me 2 nights ago, we chatted a lot. He tented last night. He was in one of the tent sites that I passed right after I left the shelter. And he came in, one of the last ones to come in here, and he's taking his midday break. And then he'll pass me again later on. Headed north. So this is Jennings Creek. Trail goes up over there on the far side. Hopefully you can see the AT sign over there to the left. I came down back on this side to the left. There's a little path from over there that leads down to here, which is a common swimming hole. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take advantage of it or not. Leaning towards yes. So I am at Middle Creek Campground. Wanted to take a picture of the burger before I started eating it. Looks pretty good. Yay. So this is the Middle Creek Campground. You got a bit of resupply. They got a kitchen. And it's a campground. There's a bunch of tent sites up that way. A bunch of the guys from the pizza group are tenting up there. People I was with this morning down by the river. It's a regular campground too, with a lot of regular RVs and whatnot in here, obviously. I'm staying in the bunkhouse, and I'll show you a quick view of that. They got a swimming pool out back, and I don't think it's open yet for this year. The hiker part of their business is pretty small, I think. I'm the only one in the bunkhouse, and it doesn't look like it gets used very often. I'll show you that in a minute. So this is a bunkhouse. They got a little mini split for heat and air conditioning, fan. There were 4 chairs. I took one in to put my back on since there was nobody else here but me. We have 4 bunks on a big bed. Each of the bunks has its own little shelf with an outlet and your own light switch. So they're pretty well set up. They've got a decent mattress, foam mattress, memory foam mattress on the beds. It's pretty good. There's a slider here to a little pond out back. Not a real attractive little pond, but it's there. Apparently there's fishing in the little pond. So this is the bunkhouse at Middle Creek Campground. I opted for the bunk room rather than tenting because I hope to get going early in the morning.